the show about our exciting Pacific West Conference. The PacWest is made up of NCAA Division II universities from Arizona and Utah to California and Hawaii. It's the most beautiful and diverse athletic conference in the entire NCAA. This is Commissioner Bob Hogue, inviting you to join our outstanding coaches, student athletes, and administrators as we talk about the great excitement in the PacWest. Now here's Assistant Commissioner Tom Camillo, live from our studios in Santan, Arizona.
Welcome to PacWest Radio. Tom Camillo, Joe Carrero, live in the Santan Valley on a Thursday morning where the weather is starting to cool down a little bit and no flooding rains, although they did have some rain here for you. It's always an event when it rains here.
It really is. I mean, my dogs were all standing at the patio door waving their tails, and they're like, we want to go outside. And by the time I got to the patio door to let them out, it had stopped.
It's my dog freaks out when it rains. He doesn't know what it's about.
What's going on,
huh? And he runs out, and he likes going in the pool, but when it rains, he kind of runs out, stops, and runs back in the house.
He looks up at the roof to see if there's other dogs up there maybe making it rain, right?
So, welcome to PacWest Radio. It's a Thursday at noontime in the Santan Valley, 9 o'clock in Hawaii, and we appreciate everybody listening. And don't forget to like KQCK on Facebook and make sure, send us information, emails, whatever you'd like about the show. We really have some great guests, and we have an interesting guest today. It's a young lady from Academy of Art University, Heather Castro. She's a cross-country runner, and as many of you have listened to the program Academy of Art, their student athletes are athletes and they're artists, and it's a myriad of different programs that they have. And we recently ran a story, Academy of Art ran a story on its website, and we picked it up on the PacWest website about Heather Castro and a film that she was involved with making called Zincgraph, and I think I'm saying that correctly. She's going to let us know. But they had a premiere on October 7th, and this is really exciting stuff, and it really shows the type of student athletes that the Pacific West Conference has. And it's really an exciting time for the conference. But as you look at the different stories going around, we had a student athlete also from Academy of Art that climbed Kilimanjaro. And then last week we had Tammy Bronner from Dominican University, California, who is a member of the Harlem Globetrotters. And so the student athletes in the Pacific West Conference are really making their mark around not just the region, but around the country and having an impact. I spent the last few days in Newport Beach, California, at the PacWest meetings, and the SAC students, and the Student Athlete Advisory Council. They come on board, and the student athletes have an opportunity in the NCAA to have a say and have an opinion on what's going on. They do stuff like raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and some really good student athletes were part of that, presented to the athletic directors and those in attendance, and just did a terrific job. And we're actually going to try to have some of those students on down the line here a little bit, and it really is something that goes. It really has an impact on college athletics today. And I believe we have Heather Castro on the phone now. Hey, Heather, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hi. Heather Castro, Academy of Art cross-country runner or filmmaker. What would you like to be known as? What are they calling you these days? I guess that's, as a young person, it might be a little intimidating or embarrassing. But let's talk a little bit about, obviously being a student athlete at Academy of Art and the type of school it is, you get to do a lot of things that are hands-on. But you really had a unique experience. You're involved with this film. Talk about the film and how this all happened.
Well, I got the film from a modeling friend. I used to shoot with her, and she got picked to be the actress. So they were searching for a set designer, and she was like, "Oh, I know this artist girl, and she's a good friend of mine." And so the director checked me out, saw all my work, and he was just like, "Yes, bring her on." And so that's how I met everyone, and that's how I got on the project.
So talk about what you actually did. You were the set designer for the film?
Yes, I did the whole flooring for the movie, the whole set designing. I did all the work, the paintings and drawings that were in the movie. They were all mine, things that I've done here at the Academy, and I did the poster for the movie and the flyers.
So you were actually doing stuff that was in the film, and then also from a marketing aspect, I guess, to promote the film.
Correct.
So when you get involved with something like this, obviously it's exciting, but how much work goes into it? It must be a lot of work.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, sleepless nights, but I pushed through, and thank goodness it came out great. I'm pretty satisfied and very happy with what I accomplished.
Now, when you talk about being a set designer, and you said you did the flooring and the paintings, and obviously you painted stuff or drew stuff yourself for the program, for the movie. But really, what does that? A lot of people listening probably don't understand what goes into that. When you say flooring, what is it actually that you're doing?
Well, I had to rearrange everything. Like, for example, the movie took place in the 1960s, like 70s. So everything had to look like it was from that time. And I was in charge of making sure that the angles for the camera looked good. And so I would go in and fix, like, let's say books, the bed, the pillow, the sheets, like any little thing, like small details. I would have to go in and make sure that everything looked good and go back with the director and make sure he was satisfied. Yeah.
And is that, I guess people don't really realize that how much detail goes into, you have to pay attention, because if you're shooting on a set, there could be something that looks like it's from certainly you don't want a laptop or an iPad sitting in the background by mistake of a period piece you're shooting in the 60s and 70s.
No.
So you really do have to pay attention.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with just this sort of career? Is this something you wanted to do, or were you going in another direction and just had an opportunity to work on a film?
I'm exploring right now. I'm a fine art major, focusing in painting, but I've done modeling and acting, and then I was an assistant for a photographer. We shot big people like Joss Whedon and Ben Parr, and I don't know, I just think that everything is art, so I want to explore and definitely be open to new things.
When in your decision to attend Academy of Art and the type of school it is, obviously this institution, this university fits in very well with your career. Talk about the process of choosing Academy of Art and tie that in a little bit to the athletic component, because you are competing on the cross-country team.
Yes. Well, yeah, this is the only art school that has an athletic team. So it was like a huge opportunity to be able to run and do my art at the same time. Definitely not a normal school, and it's extremely challenging, but at the same time, it's really rewarding for all the things I'm able to accomplish while being a student athlete and an artist.
When you were in high school, did you always know you wanted to go in the direction of art, or was it something that you kind of came to after high school?
I came to it towards my senior year when I got like one of my first sculptures into a museum. It was for the Blue Coat Museum in San Jose, and that was what made my decision. Like, oh, I have to go to the Academy of Art.
Wow! So as a high school student, you had an opportunity to display something in a museum. That must have been pretty exciting. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but it had to be pretty exciting to think that you did this, and now people thought it was good enough to display in a venue like that.
It really was, and now every day it's bigger and bigger and bigger. Go big or go home.
We're visiting with Heather Castro, member of the Academy of Art cross country team that worked on a project. And am I saying this correctly? Is it called Zincraft? Is that how you say it?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Explain to people, and we do have links on our website, on the PacWest website, and I know Academy of Art also did a story. Explain what the film is about.
Well, the two characters, they both grew up together. They went to the same college. She passed away from a car accident. He dropped out of school and spent the next 5 years in the isolation in his late grandmother's place. 5 years without going outside could make you see things. So he starts seeing her, and his goal is to hold on to her memory as long as he can till he finishes his painting, while her goal is to make him move on with his life by going outside.
And it really tells how people deal with loss. It's kind of the sort of one of the themes through it.
Yeah.
Is it when you found out the subject matter that he's trying to hold on to the image so he can finish this painting, did that kind of resonate with you because of your background and what you're studying?
Yeah. It did.
It's now you had the premiere on October 7th?
Yes, we did.
What was that like?
It was actually really exciting. It was the first time that the entire cast and crew was able to be together under one roof at the same time after a long time. And I had my coaches and my teammates there to support me, and it was amazing. It was a great experience.
Now, where did it actually take place at?
It took place at the 9th Street Independent Film Center.
And is that a venue, for those that don't know, kind of explain what type, I mean, that's a big deal in San Francisco. For those out of the area that don't know, that's a big deal to have something there.
Yeah, it's for independent filmmakers. So it was a venue closed down for just our premiere.
And what was it like? Can you people think of premieres and they roll out red carpets, and they have that kind of image of those big movies. But from kind of your perspective, this was a really for a young person involved in a film and getting this opportunity and getting this credit of being part of this. This is a huge deal for you.
Yeah,
It's you're speechless. Is your
Yeah, it really was. It was a great experience. I know that I'm achieving way more than a lot of the students here, normal students, are doing, and I'm just extremely blessed. And I've met a lot of great people through the projects, and especially with the movie. Now I'm going to start another project, which I'm extremely excited about.
Can you talk about that project?
It's another film. It's another short film that is coming out, and it's with the director, but we haven't really discussed it much.
Okay.
So I can't really give away much right now.
Yeah, and that's why I asked if you could discuss it, because I know there's certain things you can and can't say in that realm until you get sort of confirmation. Yeah. So it's extremely exciting, especially with the student athletes in the Pacific West Conference and what a lot of them are able to achieve. Let's talk a little bit about the athletic side and running cross country. How do you balance running cross country and being a student athlete and being an artist, and getting involved with obviously what you're doing on the film side? How do you balance all that?
Every morning I just take a deep breath, and that's how I start my day. I go to practice, I do my best, I do my hardest, and then I go straight to school. And I've learned a lot of responsibility through track and field and cross country, and I feel like I'm very well disciplined. The coaches have done a great job.
Do you think being a student athlete you have to be so regimented that's helped you be able to do all this?
Yeah, it definitely has, because I feel like if I wasn't a student athlete and I was just a normal student, I wouldn't be able to balance things as much. I'd just be like, there's not enough time for this and that. But with being a student athlete, you know that you need to just do your thing. You need to get it done. There's no excuse. So,
what's it like competing in the Pacific West Conference? This year you're going to have an opportunity to go to Hawaii to run in the cross-country championships. It's such a diverse conference. And, there's not a conference schedule for cross-country like some of the team sports, but you do get to travel around the West region. And getting to go to Hawaii or some of these places. Last year it was in Grand Canyon. University hosted it. Is that something that attracted you to the PacWest and Academy of Art to get that experience?
It did. Cross country was like a huge family, and so it's so nice that the whole entire team is going to be able to travel together, and I'm extremely excited. This is going to be my first time going to Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm extremely excited to give it my all.
Are you going to take a camera with you, a video camera with you, to kind of document the experience?
I think I will.
We're visiting with Heather Castro from Academy of Art University, and if you haven't seen the video, the short film called Zincraft, it's at and make sure I get this right, Heather. It's www.zincgraff.com, right? That's the website that people can go check it out. And it really is, when I was watching it, it really struck me that, you read about what it's about, but it really is about how people deal with loss and of a loved one, and it's pretty moving when you watch what this person goes through. And and when you watch it, when you go back and you watch it, you work on something, and then you see it one way from kind of behind the camera or fixing things. Mm-hmm. But when you go into like a premiere and actually watch it on a screen, or you watch it on the internet, do you kind of go, wow, this is really came together and I was part of this?
Yeah.
What was it like watching it on the screen for you?
Well, at the premiere, that was actually my very first time seeing it, the entire film. So it was extremely exciting, and I was just, there's no words for how I felt, like being able to see my artwork up there and people like clapping during the movie and saying like, oh my God, Heather did that. It was just a huge thrill.
Did any of your teammates come to the premiere?
Yeah, a lot of them did. My coaches did, my head coach, my cross-country coach, and recruits came too. So do you get a taste of what it's like to come to the academy.
Do you have to sign autographs now?
Actually, I did. I got asked to sign a couple.
That's awesome. That was when somebody asked you the very first one. What was that like? What went through your mind when somebody asked you?
I was like, "Oh, you're so sweet." I was like, "Yeah, definitely."
That's awesome. My brother's been on MTV, so the very first time when some of the young people that liked his show, they would show up at my parents' house and wait outside. And I used to ask him the same question. I'd ask him, "What was that like?" And he's like, "I try to talk to them all," and then he'd go on the boardwalk down to Jersey Shore, and he'd be followed by masses amounts of people. So that kind of, so if you start getting followed around San Francisco, you got a following.
Yeah.
But what was it like for your family? Like, did they get an opportunity to come to the premiere, or friends from high school, or?
No, unfortunately, they weren't able to make it, but they were extremely excited. My mom was crying, and my dad was just he's extremely proud, and he's just like, what's next on the list? What's the next thing? Keep moving up, setting the bar higher.
I'm sure you probably spread the word around the old neighborhood or through the family, sending out links and Facebook, and it probably blows up your phone a lot. Did your phone get a lot of messages, texts, tweets, all that kind of stuff when this was going on?
It did, actually. Everyone was extremely proud and excited. They're like waiting for the movie. Yeah, they loved the trailer. They're like, oh my God, your work, your poster. Like, a lot of them were also really into it because of the poster. So I'm really glad that was like what made them really want to see it.
Now, and
it was also because like their friend made it.
See, and that's really cool. What happens with the film at this point? You have a premiere. Is it something that could go be shown around the country? Is it something that can be nominated for like independent film awards? What happens next with something like this? Oh,
well, now the director has 4 film festivals that it's been entered in. I'm not sure which ones they are, but there's 4 different ones that it's in, and we're looking at a few more. So, I mean, it's getting a lot of good reviews, and people want to watch it, and it's being accepted in the film festival. So, I'm extremely excited.
That it's obviously everybody's proud of what you've done, and it's great. But from a resume standpoint, this has to be awesome for somebody still in college to have something like this on your resume.
Yeah. It is.
We're visiting with Heather Castro and talking about her work on the film Zincraft, and it's at www.zincraff.com. ZINCGRAFF.com, and you can take a look at the website. You can see. You can check out the Academy of Art University website or the PacWest website. You can see the story about it with some of the artwork that she did on the posters and some of the work that she did on the film. And Heather, what would you, if you had a dream job and now you've gone, what would you like to do? With the fine arts degree, kind of in your mind, you're looking like 10 years down the road. What would you like to be doing?
I would love to be a creative director.
And for those that don't know, what does that, explain what that means?
It's just taking the creative direction and just sort of your vision with like the final result. And yeah.
Is it something that you get like if you get something like a film and you're brought in and here's sort of the screenplay and the concept, and then as a creative director, is it that you get the chance to kind of make your mark and say, okay, here's what I read, here's what I kind of understand, here's how I think would play best as we make something like this? Is that what a creative art?
Exactly.
Exactly. And is that something that you learn at Academy of Art, or do they just give you like a different kind of skills that you kind of put all that together?
The Academy of Art has actually given me so many skills that I feel extremely prepared for like the real world. Like, I'm not afraid of everything that I've learned here. I've taken in like a sponge. So, I feel I'm pretty prepared. I know that I still have some things I need to work on. So, I can't wait to graduate.
That's it's exciting what you've done. When I do want to ask you that when they asked you to work on this film, was there any kind of sense of nervousness of saying, "Oh no, I don't want to screw this up. I don't want to mess this up. I'm being entrusted with this." Were you nervous at all about this whole project?
I was nervous, but at the same time, I was thinking like placing myself in a race. Like, I'm nervous about it, but in the end, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to go hard, and I'm not going to look back. So that's how I took it in. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do a great job. I'm going to do the best I can. So I did.
So it's funny you just said, because then you drew on your athletic experience to help get you through that.
Yeah, it really did. It's really definitely made me, being an athlete has made me stronger and way more confident.
When you're looking now, you said you had this other project coming up. Do you see the nervousness kind of, or any kind of apprehension now that you've done it once, that you're like, oh, okay, not that you're overly confident because you'll have a lot of work to do, but that kind of nervousness about saying, can I do this? You know you can do it. It's just you got to do something different. Did doing it once now make it sort of a little bit easier now to do the next one?
Yes, way more easier. I feel like I'll be able to go in more mentally, just more relaxed. And the only time I feel I will maybe get stressed is just when doing the job and having it come out as perfect as possible.
What's the biggest thing you learned doing a project like this?
Patience. A lot of patience.
Have you? Is that something that you have? Are you a person that has patience, or is that this helped you get patience? Like maybe
it helped me get patience.
It sounds like the details that you're describing when you're really looking at the background of the set and everything, obviously you have to be very patient. How long does it take to shoot a scene like that? I mean, could it be that it goes hours where you're just trying to shoot one minute, one little small section? Does that happen when you're filming?
It did. It took like 43 shots, like different shots to get the right shot. It took a while. We were in like that house for like over 18 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were working hard.
So then go back to your athlete. There's got to be a stamina component of being an athlete and being a cross-country runner and a track athlete. I mean, 18-hour days on any human being is long. So there's got to be an endurance part physically to be able to keep sharp, while you're doing that.
Yeah. I definitely do have way more endurance, and so I feel like my body, it can handle it.
It's it's an awesome thing that you've done, and it's a lot of people that I've talked to that have kind of looked at the trailer or looked at the website. They just the type of movie, what the subject matter is compelling, and we're really excited for you for doing this.
Thank you so much.
It's Heather, we really appreciate you joining us, and good luck. You guys have a meet this weekend? Yep.
Yes, we do.
Where are you running this weekend? I'm sorry, where are you running this weekend?
Yes, I am at Santa Clara University.
Santa Clara University, and then in a couple weeks you'll be in Hawaii running for the PacWest the PacWest Championships, and it's got to be exciting. Academy of Arts now eligible for the NCAAs.
Yes, it's extremely exciting. This is our first time being NCAA, so yeah, we're all training hard, working hard, day and night.
And so you guys are running the championships, and then you'll run in the regionals next week, I believe? That's when they're scheduled?
I believe it's the week after.
And that's also in Hawaii at the same location?
Yeah.
Well, Heather, listen, we wish you the best of luck, and we really appreciate you taking the time. I know you have a busy schedule, and it's really really fascinating. If anybody wants to check it out, go to www.zincgraff, it's ZINCGRAFF.com, and check it out. Heather Castro, Academy of Art University cross-country runner on the women's team, and she did the set design, and it's just been a terrific thing. They had their premiere on October 7th, and it's just a great opportunity and shows off the PacWest student athletes. So, Joe, it's a globetrotter last week, a filmmaker this week.
You're on a roll.
So it's been terrific. We have basketball that's going to be open up. Midnight Madness is going to be coming up here pretty soon, and in about a week, less than a week, a few days away, about 4 days away, and then the basketball season will start about a little over a month from now. And Joe, man, your eyes are closing.
Thank you. I'm a little on the tired side today.
I can tell. So, again, we'll catch you next week on PacWest Radio. For Tom Camillo, I'm Joe Carrera. We'll check you out next Thursday on KQCK in the Santan Valley.
Hi, this is Daniel, your host for Rock and Roll 101, every other Sunday at 5 on KQCK.